In my palm, you see my palm have those cushions over here and over here, and I'm going to work today on big muscles that are working most of the day. They are called the erector spine. There are two big muscles that are around the spine, and they're going pretty much from here all the way up to here. Big, long muscles. Most of the time they need to work. When we sit they need to work, when we stand they need to work. Even when we lie they still somehow working, okay? So once we're floating on the water, it's an area that usually have some kind of tension, needs some attention. And so I'm placing those two cushions on the erector spine from both sides. I'm not touching the spine itself. And I'm starting to do something that is quite similar to what we did on the first day. Waiting for the breath, and I'm just extending a little bit one side, letting it go, extending the other side, letting it go, okay? And I can also travel around the spine, and just this by itself is a really great and good treat, because it will be an area that in most cases needs special attention, and to have it done in this ease in the water can feel good, and it will be a great way for us to connect to their breath, which is one of the most attentive tool to create connection and sense for Michal, that I'm listening to him and to his needs and to his rhythm. And it could be connecting to our conversation from this morning, that just by taking my time to listen to his breath and to understand his rhythm, I'm already initiating a dialogue, because I'm not just doing something to him. I'm listening to him and I'm reacting according to his inputs.
Question?
Sure.
And in case that I'm high breathe short,
Yeah, if he's breathing really short, so I'm
Yeah.
staying with this short breath. While I'm doing these extensions, I'm already extending a little bit the breath, because each time that he will breathe to his stomach or to his chest, he will feel, wow, there is more space. But if Michai's breath is a shorter breath, it is what it is. If his legs are long legs, if his neck is short neck, this is what it is. Let's say the breath can be something that can be changed as well. But we can speak about it before. But I wish to kind of like not to push him into places where he's not. At least for this moment. So what we're going to introduce now, so we already created the dialogue. He gave me input, I listened to his input, and I gave him input according to what I hear from him. Okay? And now I'm going to introduce also the trialog. In the trialog I'm going even to listen to the water. I'm going to create a movement that is a little bit like a wave motion. Okay? So I'm placing my hand in the same place, and as he breathes, I also create this elevating and letting go. Elevating and letting go.
the back over there.
The front of the hand.
Just up from his lower spine.
My hand is basically here, just in this area in the mid-lower back, and I'm doing this. So I'm using the movement, this is my input. He's giving me the breath, which is his input, and if you look at the water now, you will see that also the water is reacting. See the wave that is coming above his belly? So the water is starting to become a part of the movement and of the tempo that we are using. And until I feel that or see that the water is making the movement, I'm not introducing my next movement, because now I'm listening to the water. I'm listening to him, I'm listening to the water, and then I'm giving my input. And like this, we're already orchestrating a nice trialog between myself, his needs, and the water. And as much as we can introduce more and more the concept of knowing what we can do, because I know that I need to do this is what I'm coming with, this is my exercise, but I'm based on the information that I'm listening to and receiving from a receiver, and allowing the water to be present in the interaction. I'm already connecting myself to something that is wider and taking myself a little bit from what you suggested this morning, taking myself a little bit away from my ego. Okay. This movement that we applied, we can apply from pretty much the lumbar spine, that is starting from here until here. We can do it also a little bit in the lower thoracic spine, in this area. Above it, it will already start to be a little bit more difficult because of the structure of the rib cage and on the scapulas. Okay, so we kind of like we can travel around from here until here. What we do want to make sure that as we are moving this hand is still keeping the head and the shoulders stable. Actually, it will be even better because all the movements will be around one pivot, and the pivot will not change its position all the time. Okay?